I want to welcome you to the 19th Annual Memorial Day Tribute. Our first event was in 2003. We are pleased to be back in person for this honorable event. I'm Mayor Pro Tem Ed Scott, and at this time I'd like to introduce Faye Coates singing America the Beautiful. And Faye, I just want to let you know that my thoughts are with you today on the 10-year anniversary of the passing of your husband. God bless him and may he rest in peace. On Memorial Day.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above thy fruited plains. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you, Ms. Coates. I'd like to now introduce you to the co-master of ceremonies for today's event, the post commander of American Legion Post 422 here in Rialto, Commander Armando Chavez. And now I'd like to introduce you to our mayor, who will give an introduction and a welcome. Madam Mayor, Deborah Robertson.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is a wonderful day. This overcast is great. They said this is the unofficial beginning of summer. But more importantly, today for us is a day that we are here to remember on Memorial Day those who have went out and given the ultimate sacrifice. And also there are those in the audience who have been able to be by someone's side and unfortunately may have lost someone, not only just in war, but also in any efforts that we participated in to protect democracy, not only for this nation, but for the whole abroad and everywhere. And so today, as we leave this and go, you know, we always say thank a veteran. Thank you for your services. And I think that's very important. A couple of things I want to say in welcoming you is I'm a person who believes in correcting wrongs as soon as I can and own up to them. So in your program today, I just want you guys to know that not knowing quickly that we were acknowledging people who had passed, I inadvertently spoke of someone who is with us and still amongst us. And he also served in the Marines, and he's a resident of our community. And so I want you to know that when you look here and see upon those who were recognized in the past, Mr. Marshall Sims has not passed. He's still with us. He is having health challenges, will not be out here. But I wanted to make sure no one leaves here going, oh my, Mr. Sims has passed. No, he hasn't. But he served in the Marines. He served in Okinawa. And he came here, and his family and them have been here for over 50 years as a resident right on Jackson. We're hoping that we will be able to have a block party for him. I know a number of people have been in this community, and I would hope that if you wanted to do something for you as a veteran, you would consider that. Also, I want to quickly just say that we have people, I've always talked about my relatives. I'm not going to talk about them today. I'm going to talk about people who I never really give time and recognition to. And one is my husband. My husband served in the Army. He actually was with Pershing Missiles, and then he had an injury, domestic injury, and he went into administrative. He always tells me I don't acknowledge him. So even though he isn't here today, I want to acknowledge my husband, Dana Rhodes. He may be out on a golf course, we never know. But you guys, we will know that I've corrected that, so I won't have to hear his mouth anymore. And then one person that has also been supporting me, the backbone, he's not here today. A lot of you know him, and he is one of our planning commissioners, but he's also my brother-in-law, and he too served in the Army. And there is a flag, a banner on Riverside honoring him. I plan on putting up a flag and honoring Mr. Sims and my husband. And I would hope, and I want to put it out here right now, that I would hope we are building a new building. And those flags will never last forever. And I hope that my colleagues and I will all be able to look at a vision that we will be able to permanently acknowledge those who we have put up in banners in perhaps our public safety hall, because it's about serving and protecting. And that's what our police officers do every day, along with our fire. They are public safety, but I hope that we will be able to permanently memorialize and be able to see them forever, recognizing that. So in conclusion, I just want to say this day is great. It's about getting with family. It's about, I've seen all the recipes for barbecue, but let's remember the only reason we have the opportunity to do that is because of the people who went out, men and women, and chose to serve to make sure that we could continue to live in this country with the freedom we have and democracy. So thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce you to Tyrone Patton in the opening prayer.
Hello, everyone. Before I start, I would like to take this opportunity for a moment of silence for the 19 children and 2 teachers who lost their lives. Okay. We only think of Memorial Day on May the 30th so we can honor those that served and died, when we should think of it every day. I went online and read that Memorial Day was once called Decoration Day following the Civil War, where veterans would decorate the graves of fallen soldiers. May the 5th, 1868, John Logan established this day to recognize on May the 30th, according to the Veterans Fairs, where ceremonies will be held in Arlington National Cemetery for fallen soldiers of the Civil War. 1960, Decoration Day was known as Memorial Day, where all soldiers who died during our country's war at home and abroad would be recognized. Memorial Day did not become an official holiday until 1968. I was 7 years old. So to me, Memorial Day is a time to reflect and honor those in all great wars paved the way for all Americans, because if they had not fought in any of those wars, where would Americans be today? Those wars serving in those men and women who fought these wars serving in any branch of military service. Today, many Americans visit cemeteries and memorials and wear red poppies in honor of those that have fallen in wars. More can be done to remember those served when we think of Memorial Day, not just think of it that day once a year. Because of those individuals who made that ultimate sacrifice, their lives were allowed, we are allowed to live freely and make choices. When I watch the news and look at Ukraine, I see they too are fighting that fight for their freedom and to be able to make their own choices. This brings me back full circle to why these wars were fought and many lives lost, so that we live in the land of the free and the home of the brave without fear. Almighty God, let us pause to pay tribute to our dearly departed. Let us honor the memory of the valiant servicemen and women who made supreme sacrifice so that we may live in a country that is free. May they rest in peace. Keep their families in good grace. Give them peace and comfort. Let us always be reminded of those wonderful lives we have because of their service. Thank you for many blessings you have given our country. We can stand tall in the knowledge that we have been blessed with your grace. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Tyrone. Tyrone is also our incoming commander at Post 422, so we want to welcome him.
Now I'd like to introduce the Rialto High JROTC for the for the presentation of colors.
Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to introduce Nancy Birch, singing the national anthem, and artist Larry Jones, who will be painting while Nancy sings.
Should we wait for him?
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above thy fruited plains, America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now I'd like to introduce the auxiliary members of Post 422, wreathing place at the flagpole.
At this time, I'd like to introduce my fellow council member, Rafael Trujillo. He will do the introduction of dignitaries. Please be seated.
Thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge our elected officials who took time to be with us here today. We have our Mayor, Deborah Robertson, our Mayor Pro Tem, Ed Scott, Councilmember Andy Corrales, Councilwoman Carla Perez, myself, Councilmember Rafael Trujillo. We also have Fontana Mayor Aquanetta Warren is here with us, and our State Assembly Member James Ramos. We also have some past commanders from Post 422. We have Frank Matthey and Robert Tipton. So I want to acknowledge them and thank them for being here. Thanks.
At this time, the young Marines will lower the flag and fold it. He already did. Oh, whoops. And Nancy Birch will be singing Anyway.
You can spend your whole life building something from nothing. One storm can come, blow it all away. Build it anyway. You can chase a dream that seems so out of reach, and you know that it might never come your way. Dream it anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, it doesn't always turn out like I think it should. But I do it anyway. I do it anyway. This world's gone crazy. It's hard to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Believe it anyway. You can build your car with all your heart for all the right reasons. In a moment they can choose to walk away. Believe it anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, doesn't always turn out like I think it should. But I do it anyway. Yeah, I do it anyway. Yeah. You can pour your soul out singing a song you believe in, that tomorrow they'll forget you ever sang. Sing it anyway.
The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veterans departing our ranks who gave a portion of their lives for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature, for as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in time of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country, for in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is our sole country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is where our hearts lie. It is where our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all her enemies, whether they be found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood and mothers, for it has been through their faith, their love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of men and women who have made this country great has been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the Father, for He too has given His sons and daughters for defense of our country since they were first born. The 11th fold represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon and glorifies in the Hebrews' eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies, in the Christian eyes, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the 13th fold, or when the flag is completely folded, the stars are uppermost, reminding us of our nation's motto, "In God we trust." Thank you.
Everyone, I just wanted you to know, is it on? Everyone, I just want you to know that the young man that I asked to receive the flag for me as an official duty of being the mayor is Andrew Carazelis Jr. I happen to know the family, Councilmember Carazelis, and I know he's the only young person who's the next generation in the Carazelis family that will carry the name. So he usually does official ribbon cutting ceremonies for me when he's not in school, and I wanted him to be a part of this. So thank you guys.
I'd like to introduce the Veteran Remembrance. These are the members from the 422 that have gone in the past 2 years. Arthur Turi Luna. He served in the Army and Air Force. Richard Dick Brooks Wellington. he wasn't from the Army. Donald Lee Griggs, Marine. Guy Cliff Moore, Navy. Gary Leidy, Navy. Anthony Dizienes, Air Force. John Baumfock, Air Force. And Gilbert Torres, Army and Marines. Now I'd like to introduce Gary Lawrence for the POW MIA flag. And also James Fisher for the POW MIA Remembrance.
The table is set for one, is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against the oppressors. The white tablecloth, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call of arms. The single rose displayed in a white vase reminds us of the families and loved ones of our comrades in arms who keep faith awaiting their return. The red ribbon tied on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn on the lapel and the breasts of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of the missing. A slice of lemon on the bread plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt on the table is symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us today. The chair is empty. They are not here. Remember all of you who served with and called them comrades, who depend on their might and aid and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. Thank you.
At this time, it's my honor to introduce our keynote speaker today, Lieutenant Colonel Robert J. Furtick, U.S. Army. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Kinderly Furtick is a native of Springfield, South Carolina. In December 2001, he was commissioned an armor officer through the ROTC program at Newberry College in Newberry, South Carolina. He has served in various leadership and staff positions with both cavalry and armor formations. As a lieutenant, he was assigned overseas duty in the Republic of Korea from 2002 to 2005. During that time, he served as a tank platoon leader, tank company executive officer, and battalion maintenance officer in 1-72 ARBN of the 2nd Infantry Division. As a captain, he served at Fort Drum, New York, as a G3 current ops officer for the 10th MTN Division from 2006 to 2008. LTC Furtick moved to 189 CAV 2 BCT and assumed command of B Troop and later HHT. During his time in the 10th MTN, he deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq. In 2010, upon completion of the Iraq deployment, he was reassigned to the 316th CAV in Fort Benning, Georgia. During this time, he served as an instructor in the Army Reconnaissance Course. Lieutenant Furtick's first assignment as a major was as the Squadron Operations Officer and Executive Officer for 316 CAV, 316th CAV BDE, Upon completion of this assignment in 2013, he was reassigned to Fort Irwin, California, where he was assigned to the 1st Squadron, 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. Here he served as a senior OCT for the regiment and later as the squadron executive officer. He was then assigned as the chief of protocol for the National Training Center. Lieutenant Furtick completed his duties at NTC and in 2015 was reassigned to the Office of Program Management, Saudi Arabia National Guard in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. As a battalion advisor in 2016, he was then assigned to the Department of the Army G357 as an operations officer in the Army Operations Center. In August of 2018, Lieutenant Furtick was reassigned to the 8th U.S. Army Camp Humphreys, Korea, and as an aide de camp to the commanding general. Following his 8th U.S. Army assignment, Lieutenant Furtick assumed command of the 1st Squadron and the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment at Fort Irwin, California. On 24th June 2020, he is currently serving as the Squadron Commander. Lieutenant Furtick's military education includes Command and General Staff Officers Course, the Armor Captain's Career Course, the Armor Officer Basic Course, the Cavalry Leaders Course, and the Scout Leaders Course. He also holds a Bachelor of Science from Newberry College, as well as a Master's in Human Resources from Central Michigan University. Lieutenant Furtick is married to the former Kelly Suzanne Chapman of Cheraw, South Carolina. They have 3 sons, Andrew 12, Jonathan 10, and Owen 8. Please welcome Lieutenant Furtick.
I'm going to check real quick. Is this directional or can y'all all hear me? All right. Well, good morning. I am Lieutenant Colonel Furtick, Squadron Commander for 1st Squadron 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. I am a Black Horse Trooper. And as a Black Horse Trooper, it is an honor to be here. The regiment has served in the state of California from San Francisco, where they were our port to the Philippines, the Presidio fires. We've been to Hollywood. We've been on the Golden Gate Bridge opening parade. And so I'd like to thank the city of Rialto, Mr. Mayor, American Legion Post 422, for the opportunity to be here today and to speak during such an important event. As a squadron commander, I have 900 men and women that I'm supposed to be in charge of, to lead, and to take care of. I do a much better job speaking off the cuff than I do writing a speech. And that's mainly because I usually don't have anybody to push back on me with what I say. Coming to speak today is difficult. It is not about moving out on a tank. It's not about making sure the motor pool looks good, but rather to honor friends and family. When I got told I was a keynote speaker, I was concerned just because of what I told you. Writing a speech isn't as good as me talking off the cuff. And so the Army motto of the 3 B's, be brief, be brilliant, and be gone, came to mind. He didn't say it, but I'm a PE major, so in sports language, I hope to be batting 2 out of 3 here because I've never been accused of being brilliant. So please bear with me. In 1868, at what is now the Arlington National Cemetery, our first observation of Memorial Day was held as Decorations Day. It was a day of remembrance to honor fallen soldiers of the Civil War. And then after World War I, Decoration Day was expanded to include fallen soldiers of any American conflict. And in 1971, Decoration Day was officially passed by Congress as Memorial Day. Over 150 years after that first day of remembrance and honoring of sacrifice, We are here to honor the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines that gave the full measure to protect the freedoms that our Constitution provides. As I was beginning my military career over 22 years ago, I met a Kimberly Hampton. Kimberly Hampton was the cadet battalion commander of our college ROTC program. Kimberly would go on to be a Kiowa warrior pilot stationed in Korea and Fort Bragg, and later Kimberly was deployed to Iraq. She was killed when her aircraft was shot down. Kimberly is the first female pilot killed in U.S. history. During my second assignment, I was assigned to the 10th Mountain Division in 2006 and deployed to Afghanistan. In May of 2006, 10 of our soldiers were killed in a CH-47 crash while on an air assault mission. In combat operations, when a fellow service member is killed, we hold a procession to honor our comrades. The memory of watching those vehicles pass as I saluted brings chills to me, even today and right now. In 2003, as stated a little while ago, I was assigned to 1st Battalion, 72nd Armor in Camp Casey, Korea. 2nd Infantry Division. My barracks roommate would be Brian Bunting, Bubba as he was called. We lived together for about a year in Korea and then again in Fort Knox. I was home on leave in February of 2009 when I received the call that my friend was killed by an IED in Afghanistan. His wife, Nikki, and his sons have spent many days at Arlington National Cemetery remembering and honoring his memory. I stand here today hoping that I can honor Kimberly, Bubba, and all of the servicemen and women that have volunteered to support and defend our Constitution and gave their lives doing just that. These men and women mentioned, and too many more of the history of our nation, have stood up for a cause that was for the betterment of our world. But if soldiers had not answered the call of President Lincoln, we may still be living in a country that approves of slavery. Without the courage of these people, we may still see the harsh dictatorship of Iraq on CNN or the terroristic management of Afghanistan. The most precious resource our nation has to offer, its sons and daughters, have answered the call of our nation's leaders. And unfortunately, we have lost some of those great people in support of those missions. In 1865, a parade was held by recently freed slaves in Charleston, South Carolina, to honor Union soldiers that they had buried during the Civil War. Accounts of the first Decoration Day at Arlington talk about folks having picnics on the grounds. And the order by the general in charge of the events directed that flowers and decorations be placed on graves of fallen soldiers. Now, through the years, we have shifted the day of the Memorial Day focus from 30th day of May to the last Monday in May. This move was part of the Uniform Monday Holiday Act that created 3-day weekends for ease of government recognition. In today's digital age, there are numerous social media accounts that will talk about the reason for today. Many will ask that you don't thank a veteran or an active duty service member because that isn't what the day is. And that's the truth. Some will talk about this isn't just a day off for grilling burgers or drinking beer or getting out on the water. I would ask that we remember our children, our spouses, our brothers and sisters, our friends, by doing whatever it was that made them happy. Whether it's playing tennis like Kimberly Hampton, reading poetry, going to church, having a picnic, or drinking a Guinness like Bubba, go out and celebrate the loved ones we have lost. I believe we owe it to them to strengthen those memories we have of them and to carry forward their legacies. The great men and women we remember on this Memorial Day were heroic in their actions, and we must never forget their sacrifice. I cannot do those for whom we stand here justice, but I will try to celebrate them at every opportunity moving forward. I thank you again for the opportunity and the honor to be here speaking on such a wonderful day. I hope that you all honor your service members in whatever way they want to be honored. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to welcome from the 5th District, our County Supervisor, Joe Baca Jr., and his father, former Congressman Joe Baca Sr. I'm going to invite our new Assembly member, James Ramos, up to say a few words to you. Please welcome James Ramos, our Assembly member.
Well, thank you, and thank you for inviting me up to say a few words. We sit as the chairman of the Military and Veterans Committee for the state of California, and it's my honor to be here, but it's also a time that we remember those that gave the ultimate sacrifice for each and every one of us to be here today, for me to be able to speak on this podium here. The ultimate sacrifice, it came from a diverse group of Americans that includes all of our people, the different rich diversity that we have. But it also serves as a remembrance for us to continue to lift up the families that live on, to lift them up in our prayers every morning. These are things that we stand true to. These are things that we should ultimately acknowledge every day of the year, not just one day out of the year, but every day, because there's people out there fighting for us to be free. And there's people out there that gave the ultimate sacrifice for us to be here today. And for that, I say thank you. And for that, I will continue to lift you up in prayers every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. At this time, the Armed Forces Medley, played by the Rialto Network with Girl Scouts, ROTC, and Young Marines waving flags. They will be over to my left, your right.
Here they come.
I think the Marines win. The young women and gentlemen that are out there are Rialto and San Bernardino's youth. They could be at home today enjoying a barbecue or watching TV or playing video games, but instead they're out here honoring our fallen. So please, let's give them all a big welcome round of applause.
Now I'd like to introduce the veteran speaker, Colonel Gilbert Rowland, U.S. Army retired.
Can everyone hear me out there? All right. Well, this is outstanding. Distinguished and honored guests, the community of Rialto, service members, veterans, families, especially our Gold Star families, thank you for being here today. It's an honor to stand in front of you and speak about something that's near and dear to my heart. And once again, I'd like to thank the mayor for having me out here, and also the citizens of Rialto for having me come out here to to remember the sacrifices of our nation's heroes. I know that many people look at today as a 3-day weekend, some time off from work, or an opportunity to barbecue and spend time with family and friends. I'm not here to criticize people who take advantage of Memorial Day holiday as a weekend of enjoyment. As a matter of fact, I encourage everyone to enjoy the day off and spend the extra time with family and friends, however everyone sees fit. I only ask that everyone please do not forget why this is a day off. Memorial Day is for remembrance of fallen who gave their all to include their lives so we can enjoy our freedom. As I look out over the audience, I see a multitude of veterans out there from all branches of service. And I'm sure that there is veterans here today that remember those who fought valiantly by their side that are unable to be here today. Those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, those who are not here to reap the benefits as we as veterans enjoy. Those who are not here to enjoy a meal, a drink, or to share war stories that only we as veterans understand. Their children or grandchildren, or those who could not have children or grandchildren because of their ultimate sacrifice. Their children and grandchildren cannot enjoy their presence as ours, as veterans. The respect we give to our fallen speaks to the significance we place on their service. Their commitment to duty, their personal courage, their patriotism, and their legacy shall not and will not be forgotten. So few men and women choose to put their lives on the line to serve and defend the Constitution of the United States. So few are willing to face atrocities most of us can't fathom and will run towards danger opposed to run away from danger. So few will volunteer to serve knowing that death
could possibly be the outcome of their service. But we can ensure that those who make this choice and make the ultimate sacrifice can rest knowing they serve with the thanks of grateful citizens and knowing that they won't be forgotten. To Michael Vega, United States Army, Iraq 2004. Andre Tyson, United States Army, Iraq 2004. You both are not here with us today. However, I will always remember you, my friends, and will never forget your sacrifice. In closing, I'd like to say, and end it on a good note, is that let us continue to enjoy this day. However, do take the time to reflect and remember those who cannot be with us because they sacrificed their lives so we can enjoy ours. To all my service members and veterans, thank you for your service. God bless America and bless the United States military, as we are and will always be, no matter what others say, the world's greatest fighting force. Thank you.
Go Army.
It is my pleasure to introduce Joseph Radin, a reading Above and Beyond the Call of Duty. Mr. Radin.
Above and beyond the call of duty. Above and beyond the call of duty. What does this phrase mean? It means more than one is required or expected to do, and it is extremely heroic. These words are part of what must occur for a member of the United States military to be awarded the United States government's highest and most prestigious military decoration, the Medal of Honor. In 1963, Public Law 8877 standardized requirements that a candidate for the Medal of Honor must distinguish himself or herself by acting at the risk of their own life above and beyond the call of duty in certain types of military actions. The Medal of Honor is awarded by the President of the United States in the name of the Congress of the United States. The President can also delegate the presentation of the award to another, such as a general or admiral. The presentation of the Medal of Honor usually occurs at a formal ceremony where government officials, family members, friends, veterans who have served with the person being awarded the medal, and other Medal of Honor recipients attend. The ceremony has been held in many places, such as churches, parades, hospitals, the Pentagon, etc. In recent times, these impressive ceremonies have been held at the White House. The President himself fastens the distinctive blue neck ribbon with the medal hanging from it around the neck of the recipient. The Medal of Honor can also be awarded posthumously to a recipient, in which case it is presented to the primary next of kin. There are three different medals of honor for service members who qualify. One is for the soldiers who serve under the Department of Army. Another is for sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen under the Department of Navy or Homeland Security. And the third one is awarded to airmen and the new Space Force Guardians under the Department of the Air Force. Over the years, there have been several designs for the medals. Currently, all three versions contain a star and feature a blue ribbon with small white stars. The battlefield decoration for valor was first proposed in 1861 for naval service members and signed into law by President Lincoln that same year, followed in 1862 by a resolution to provide for a Medal of Honor for Army service members. However, both of these specified that the medal was being awarded to service members who distinguished themselves in the Civil War. On March 3, 1863, Congress made the Medal of Honor a permanent decoration. The Air Force version of the Medal of Honor was adapted in 1965. Once a member is identified as a candidate for the award, say by a after-action report or an other means, the commanding officer or a delegate completes a form and the case is passed up the chain of command, weighing evidence such as film, eyewitness accounts, etc. There is a Congressional Medal of Honor Society which provides information about the medal and those who have received it. According to the society, there have been 3,530 medals of honor awarded to 3,511 persons since the decoration was created, meaning some have received the medal more than once. There were 1,523 Medals of Honor awarded for Civil War actions, 473 for World War II, 147 Korea, 263 Vietnam, and 28 for actions in Afghanistan and Iraq. 8 civilians have received the Medal of Honor. One was a woman, Mary Edwards Walker, who received the Medal of Honor in 1865, was a doctor during the Civil War. She went out on the front lines to take care of the wounded and became a POW. There have been several famous people who have been awarded the medal, most notably President Theodore Roosevelt, Buffalo Bill Cody, Audie Murphy, an actor, and Charles Lindbergh. I have had the privilege of meeting 2 Medal of Honor recipients. Let me tell you about them. Army Captain Louis L. Millett, serving during the Korean War, was personally leading his company on February 7, 1951. Placing himself at the head of 2 platoons, he led a bayonet assault up a fire-swept hill, engaging in fierce combat and encouraging his men, who took the position so fiercely that the enemy fled. Captain Millett was wounded by grenade fragments, but refused evacuation until the objective was taken and firmly secured. Captain Millett served in 3 wars, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and became a colonel in the Army. The other recipient, James E. Livingston, a Marine captain, was serving in Vietnam on May 2, 1968. Captain Livingston, commanding officer of Company E, was leading his men against enemy forces which had seized a village, stranding a Marine company. Under intense enemy fire, he fearlessly led his men in a savage assault against the enemy in the village. and in an adjacent village. Captain Livingston skillfully directed the actions of his company, encouraging his men and relieving the pressure on the stranded Marine company. Captain Livingston was wounded 3 times during these actions, but would not let himself be evacuated until he was assured of the safety of his men. Captain Livingston later became a major general in the Marine Corps. Veterans have served, sacrificed, and suffered since our nation began. Some are in the audience, and many of us have family members who served in our armed forces, such as my father, an American soldier who landed in southern France during World War II. Today, we honor and remember those veterans who died in service to our country. They gave everything they had and everything they would ever have. Their legacy is their gift to us, freedom.
I'd like to introduce the U.S. Army Riverside Recruiting Company 21 Gun Salute.
Please rise. Now at this time, I'd like to retire the POW MIA flag.
Young Marines, please raise the U.S. flag while bagpiper Stephen plays Amazing Grace.
I'd worked hard to achieve, and I had to start again with just my friends and family. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause that flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget all that died and gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and we have to stand and say that we're proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget all who died and gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm glad to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget all who died and gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy Birch.
Before we start the closing prayer, I'd like to take a shout out to one of our oldest members, 422. He's having a birthday today. Ed Owe. Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday.
And I'd like to introduce Tyrone Patton with the closing prayer. Oh, Jimbo's birthday is today too. I'm sorry. He forgot to tell me.
Remain standing. Please uncover. Dear God, as we approach Memorial Day, may we honor and remember those who died that we might live in freedom. We remember our departed loved ones gone on before. This that we honor will be a part of our lives forever. Oh God, we are meaningful of your great love for us. We are thankful for that love. We praise you for blessing of love and friendship, our families and our homes. Amen.
Okay, I have a few housekeeping things while we're waiting for the infamous airplane flyover. I want to thank Barbara McGee, the city clerk of Rialto, and her staff for putting on this event. They do a great job every year. Thank you, Barbara. I also want to introduce you to our new city manager, Marcus Fuller. He's out here with his lovely family. Marcus, where are you? Wave. There he is, way in the back. You got any pothole problems? That's the guy to see. I also want to thank Rialto Public Works, the Rialto Fire Department, and the Rialto Police Department for their involvement in today's event. Without them, we would not be able to do this either. And I especially want to thank the Rialto Police Department for keeping our city safe. Thank you. God bless you. And I hope everybody's had a chance to look at all the vehicles back there today. We've got a nice collection of them. Be sure you go by them on your way to the park across the street.
Everyone, while we're waiting for the flyover, I would just like to share something for today. Again, I spoke about my brother-in-law who was Artist Gilbert. He is a retired veteran of the Army. He sends me affirmations every day. And this one I want to share with everyone. Please think about it. Practice the pause. Pause before judging. Pause before assuming. Pause before accusing. Pause whenever you're about to react harshly, and you'll avoid doing and saying things you'll later regret. Good morning, and think about pausing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And can we also get a round of applause for our partner in this program, the American Legion Post 422 here in Rialto. Thank you. Well, we got a train, no airplane. Let us remember the fallen in this country that have served us, that had served us so well. Also, let us also remember the living that continue to serve us. God bless America, and let's keep America strong and bring it back where it needs to be.